We touched upon this earlier on, but not necessarily just about the race at the festival, the Mayor's Hurdle. Has it changed the shape of the festival, to your mind, Jim, for the better or for the worse, or it's there and we've got to stick with it? This is obviously off the back of Apple's Jade potentially going there as opposed to a champion hurdle. Well,
it's certainly provoked a lot of chat. If you add a day to something, a significant chunk, put on a certain conditions races, you can't bleat if some people say the same argument was launched when the Ryanair, or when it first came in, it wasn't called the Ryanair, but when the Ryanair came in, it'll take away horses from the Gold Cup, it'll take away horses from the 2 Mile Champion Chase, the Fred Winter Handicap Hurdle will take away horses from the Triumph, and now you've got the Mayor's Hurdle's taking away horses from the Champion Hurdle. It was inevitable.
And Sam Hoskins wrote on Twitter yesterday, man who runs Hot to Trot Racing and other important syndicates from a breeding perspective, saying that it's hugely important, the Mayor's Hurdle, that we get a chance to measure mares against each other and how good they are, because it has ramifications throughout the breeding world. What do you think? Does it serve its purpose that way or not necessarily?
You can't say anything other than having mares races, the same as happened on the flat. I was sceptical because I think I'd much prefer as much open competition as possible. But having mares, provided hopefully they stay in racing, I think has been a good thing, particularly for jumping, and they are getting better quality.
It's been a huge, huge plus for jump racing, because at the end of it, 5, 6 years ago, you could buy a mare for nothing. I mean, they gave them away. There was no encouragement for them to race, and Robert Wade-Combe was the person who came up with this idea of having mares races at Cheltenham. You know, 5 days, 4 days at the moment, 5 days, they're going to have to start filling other things if they ever go to 5 days. It's filled a gap. It's encouraged people to buy mares. It's encouraged trainers to buy mares. I buy quite a considerable number of mares now, and it's, you know, it's that dream of going to Cheltenham. And if you have a horse that's good enough to go to Cheltenham and happens to be a mare, and there's a mare's race, tremendous.
That is it for this week's Talking Points.